We've been talking about how to maintain your relationship by not cheating was the last episode we talked about. And we got a lot of responses from that. We're glad that y'all are loving the content. Now tonight, what's been really just on my heart to talk about is how to really love someone. And I say someone, Tasha, because I know that we have a lot of followers actually who are men. So we have men here that are trying to figure out how to keep their relationships going and how to keep everything together. So we know we usually talk to the ladies directly, but we're going to talk to everyone who just wants to know how to really love someone. Tasha, you kick it off. What ideas do you have?
So many. So the first thing that comes to mind, I would say, is small gestures, and that could be anything from A to Z. You guys, from leaving a note on your person's car, or writing like a note on a mirror, like when it's fogged up or something in the bathroom.
Hmm.
Um, Putting a little note in their lunchbox, like if they go off to work or if they work outside the home, that could be a good one. Oh my goodness, so many. What about you, Simone? What did you say?
Yeah, so that's good. Those small gestures, let me just touch on that a minute. That's really good because that's indicating to the person that you're thinking about them.
Yes.
Right, that you're thinking about them and that you're stopping, taking time in your day to do something nice for them. It's like you're saying to them, you're special to me and I appreciate having you in my life. And that's what the whole idea of how to really love someone. I was listening to the song about how to really love a woman, and that song keeps playing in my head. That's why we have to talk about on this podcast. So that is something that just keeps playing in my head. So the ideas of how do you really love a woman? We all think of ideas of make her feel special, but what does that really mean? Make her feel loved, but what does that really mean? And that's what
Mm-hmm.
we want to break down today. What does it really mean to really love someone? You know, how far, it's like, how far, Tasha, are you willing to go with that person?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I told you, I was watching videos today and it was talking about people who have partners who have gotten ill or wives or husbands who've gotten in an accident and left them paralyzed. People have been diagnosed with ALS, MS, cancer, all these different things that where you have to, as the partner, the wife, the husband, become their primary caregiver. And that's very serious.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have to look at. Is that something that you could do?
Yeah. And Simone, I would say that's like, loving without conditions.
Mm,
Because I mean anything could happen to any one of us at any given moment. And if you really love that person, are you gonna be there? You
yeah,
know?
yeah. And people talk about unconditional love, but what this is like unwavering love. That no matter what happens, you're going to be there for that person. No matter what happens, you made that commitment to them or you exchange those vows with them and you're going to be there for them, you know?
Right.
And in the process of being there for them, it's not just being there and you feel obligated.
Right. That's
It's
true.
right, it's being there and your heart and your soul and your spirit wants to be with that person. That's who you fell in love with. That's who you made a commitment to. And that's who you want to, walk this path with no matter what.
Right.
But how do you show them that they really are the number one person, your person? How do you express that to somebody? You know, how do you express that to them when they're feeling low, when they're feeling unseen? What are ways that you could make them feel seen? What are
Yeah.
ways that you could make them feel special?
So I would say that definitely make sure you incorporate affection. And affection looks like a lot of different things. It's not always like, the sexual part of it. It could be, holding your partner's hand while you guys are in public. It could be just, giving your partner a hug. It could be writing them a love note, cooking them breakfast. Um, you know, little things like that, go a long way.
Yep. So just letting them know through touch, right? Letting them know through gestures that they are still important to you. And that's what we talked about, Tasha, when we talked about the love languages,
Right,
right?
right,
That's what we talked about, that everybody has their own way that they really like to feel appreciated. And some people it's through touch, right? Some people it's through different gestures,
right.
maybe cooking for them, cleaning,
Yeah.
take their car to get clean, just different gestures like that. Some people it's through gifts. They
Right.
like gifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you keep that in mind. If you know that your partner likes to get flowers, or if you know that your partner likes to be surprised, likes to go to concerts, likes to go to movies, whatever it is, like, make an intentional effort to bring that into their lives, on a weekly basis,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because it's work.
Yeah, definitely work. I mean, you guys, you could even think the smallest thing you could think of go a long way. If you have a partner that, I don't know, loves Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, just to surprise them randomly with their favorite donut or their favorite coffee or their tea. Things like that. It just goes a long ways. A lot of times, small gestures overweigh big things, especially if it's random. You didn't ask for it. It's not a special occasion. It's just to say, like Simone said, I love you, I'm here, I see you. Those small gestures go a long way.
And then, Tasha, you have maybe the bigger things.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
bigger things, where you might like to do something a certain way, but your partner doesn't like that. And then, so what comes into play now is compromise. How you really love someone is not wanting things your way all the time.
mm-hmm.
You know, there has to be a time when you are willing to compromise to please that person and also to keep the peace, right?
Right, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. That's big in relationships. You definitely have to be willing to compromise, because who wants to be in a one-sided relationship anyway?
right, right.
That's no fun. So
Who,
yeah,
yeah, who wants to be with a person who always thinks that they're right? The person who always wants to be right. Who wants to be with that person in the long run, right?
absolutely right.
Yeah, and that brings up to mind to me the thought of respect. Respect, being respectful to your partner. That's like one of the number one ways that you're going to show that person that they are really loved and cared for, by respecting them.
Yes,
You respect their decisions, you support their ambitions, you respect how they want to present themselves to the world. You respect when you fell in love with them, they looked a certain way, they might have dressed a certain way, but if
mm-hmm.
that changes, respect that. Respect how your partner wants to live, as long as it's something that's not total deal breaker for you, right? Tasha,
Right,
it's like
right.
once you're in that committed relationship, there should be a level of respect that goes, I think, without saying.
Absolutely. And then, keep in mind your partner do change.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, hopefully it's for the better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That you will want to, support that change because change is good and people evolve. So that is one way to show them that, like Simone said, you support their decisions, their ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and the different, things that they would like to do as well.
Yeah, so it's like just when you're in a relationship, first you need to find out how that person wants to be loved. And then when you know that, you do all you can to support them in that. And hopefully you're getting your needs met too. Like you're letting your partner know how you want to be loved, right? And you
Hmm.
getting your needs met. Yep. What else can we add to that, Tasha? Is there something we're missing?
Uh, let's see.
You gotta listen to your partner.
That's a good one.
You have to listen. So many couples, and when we talked about it on the cheating episode, so many couples are saying this happened out of the blue, this happened all of a sudden. And I know what Tasha talked about before, that it wasn't all of a sudden, right, Tasha?
Right, exactly, exactly. A lot of times, in relationships, your partner will give you clues. Depending on the partner, sometimes they're just very straightforward. They'll just tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's not that easy. But they definitely will say different things, or just sometimes watch their body language in different conversations, or how they react to certain, conversations, and just pay attention, because sometimes it's not always cut and dry, and they say this is X, Y, and Z, and you're like, oh, okay. It's not always that easy. You definitely have to listen to some of the things that they say and do to, sometimes figure out, what it is that they're looking for or trying to communicate to you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely, definitely that. So that's what we talk about communication. Tasha said, listen. Be able to communicate what you want. Listen to your partner when they're communicating. What they want. You got to keep your finger on the pulse of the relationship, so the relationship doesn't get away from you. You don't want to be that person who wakes up one day and then you're saying, I don't know what happened. She just left me. Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't want that. So that's why you keep the lines of communication open. You know what's special to her, you know what's special to you. Make sure that those elements are part of your relationship.
absolutely. I definitely agree.
Yeah, so you know, I see online too where people are writing in stories that, oh, we're celebrating 20 years, but for the past 10 years I've been miserable.
Oh, wow.
Some people are staying in relationships because I guess they know that there's some hope for it. And
Mm-hmm.
we encourage that. If you found the love of your life, we encourage working it out. But we don't encourage being miserable for 10 years of it and not saying anything. And you
Right.
just going along maybe because you're afraid to say it, you're afraid to lose that person. Like, yeah, like another thing that I've come across is partners agreeing, to being in open relationships because they're afraid to lose the person, right?
Oh, goodness. That's a big one.
I mean, all of us, right, in relationships, we have to be true to ourselves.
Right.
You have to be true to yourself. You have to know what you can tolerate. But don't tolerate it at the cost of your sanity,
Right.
at the cost of your peace, you know. And that brings me to like the point of Tasha, being able to support your partner mentally, emotionally, you know. Mental health is so important.
So important.
And so many things that are going on in the world could just shape the core of it, of your mental health. But as people in committed relationships, we have to be there to support each other, to
Definitely.
encourage each other, right? Tasha's always encouraging me, and hopefully I'm always encouraging her, you know. So that's one thing, you have to be there for your partner. Be aware of where they are mentally and emotionally, right?
That's a big way to support your partner and show them that you love them. Because, like Simone said, it's a lot of things going on in the world. So to have that person, in your corner and have your back, because sometimes it ain't always sunshine and rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
And you might
Mm-hmm.
have those
Mm-hmm.
days where you just feeling like, ugh. We all have those, moments or days. So to have that person to be able to, help you through that and talk you through that, or just being a listening ear. Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
don't always want somebody's opinion or their 2 cents, but just for them to listen, for whatever you're going through in a minute is definitely a way to show that you love them.
Yeah. So man, I think we've covered a lot, Tasha, and we will cover more as we keep going, y'all. And
Absolutely.
in the description of this video, we're gonna have a link where you can reach us directly, because we know some people have been trying to reach us to talk through some issues. Some people have been trying to reach us for couples type of counseling,
Right.
which y'all know. If you don't know, I do that um, as a licensed clinical therapist. That's something that I do provide. So you can talk with me one on one, or you want to talk to both of us, that's fine. You can talk to me and Tasha, but the link will be in the description. And we welcome y'all to work through the relationship with with your person, with the one that
Yes.
you fell in love with the one that is the one, and they're treating you well, or you want to know how the two of you can get things going much better and much stronger, reach out to us.
Absolutely,
And
guys.
then remember,
Always like the video, guys.
like it, like the video, y'all. Subscribe
Subscribe.
and leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Make sure you have that notification bell on so when we roll out videos, you guys will be notified so you can catch the new episodes.
Yep. Now I know this was a serious episode. I felt serious about it. I felt serious about telling y'all how to really, love the person that you're with. How to really love that person. Hopefully this has been helpful for y'all. Let us know if you want more of this. And me and Tasha will see y'all next time.
See you in the next episode, guys.
Bye.